This meeting is being live streamed.
Yep, I got mine.
Kiara, Lydia, and Sean.
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on? Hello.
No.
Y'all ready?
Yep,
Ready?
ready.
So you know what that means. All right, so
We're back. So we're back.
I don't know what's going on. Sew with a needle, a thread, and a sewing machine.
y'all know what we're talking about though.
We do. I do. I do.
I believe one. I believe one of the topics.
Oh, you know what you know what's going on? Yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there and get started.
Mhm.
All right,
Okay,
let's get started.
ready?
I hear a freaking delay, but do you guys think it's possible to be best friends with your significant other, spouse, partner, whatever applies to each one of us?
Yeah. So that was a good show, guys. Have a good one.
Can you elaborate why you think so?
So like I don't have a relationship like Vonda and Lydia over here, where it's like a really long relationship built on like, you know, years of friendship and being, you know, vets and all that stuff. So maybe my perception's a little skewed, but to me, like the end goal at you know, the age I'm at is to eventually have a partner that I'm going to be with, you know, down the road. Children will grow up. We may move on to other places and you know, we're go see other things and live in other areas. If I can't be best friends with that person that's going to be sharing so many things with me, then I feel like there's a part of that relationship that's missing. I feel like your best friend is somebody that you tell things to, you can trust, you can confide in, and they're going to tell you like it is. Okay. They're going to be honest with you about the things that you need to step up on. They're going to be supportive about the things, you know, when you're down and you need that little bit of support. And if your significant other can't do that for you, then it's not going to be a relationship that's going to have any kind of tenure. It's going to be a flash in the frying pan. I'm not saying that they have to be your only best friend, but if you can't be best friends with them, I think that your relationship needs to also have a basis in friendship. You know what I mean? Doing things together, wanting to spend that time together and things like that. So I think it's the longevity of it, because I don't see how you can't be friends, you know, with your significant other.
I agree with you. I think to me, if you're not friends, if you don't have that foundation of friendship in your relationship, then you're missing it. You're missing the whole experience, because that is what it's built on. You build on that friendship upon that, for the most part, for most, for a lot of it. But I feel like if, like you said, if they're your best friend, you trust them completely. You're able to tell them pretty much everything. You're able to lean on them for everything. You trust them. So I do feel like your spouse should be your best friend. I don't know what a flip side would be. you got, you know what I mean? Other than that, I don't know anything other than that in my situation. So.
Okay, another thing is the dynamic between, like, if you don't, say you have somebody else that's your best friend and you don't have that same kind of relationship with your significant other, that can cause a little bit of friction in your relationship, because you're telling things to your best friend that you can't tell to your significant other, and you're supposed to be open in a good relationship, in my opinion. I mean, this is the person that's gonna, if you get married, they're gonna inherit your debt if you have debt. If you they're going to be with your children, raising your children. So things that you go, well, I can't really tell, like me, I can't really tell my girl that, but I'm gonna call up my friend and my best friend, and see what they think. There's going to be an inherent friction, in my opinion. Even if they don't want to make a big deal about it, it's still going to be something that they're going to be sitting on, and it's going to be like a perception. You know what I mean? A negative perception.
But see, that's two different dynamics as far as I'm concerned. Sharing debt, taking care of children, that's something that is supposed to be done together. And for Vonda, doesn't carry any weight and being my best friend. My boyfriend can't tell me anything about being a woman. He can't tell me what cramps feels like. Probably doesn't even want to hear about that. He can't tell me anything about childbirth or having a baby. Nothing at all. He can give me zero insight into that. And I also believe, one, my home is supposed to be my safe haven.
Right.
The hardest thing from my perspective for an individual to do is to live under the same roof with somebody 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. I don't even think that's healthy. I deserve to have an outlet. I deserve to be able to get things off of my chest and get feedback from somebody outside of my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I have a twin sister. Nobody's topping Londa. Nobody.
Shout out to Londa.
Shout out to my twin. I'm always going to go to her. So I personally do not think it's possible for two people that are in a married monogamous relationship. I just don't think it's possible to genuinely be best friends. And I also don't think it's healthy. I need to have my own identity. I need to think the way that I want to think, not the way my spouse thinks I should think. You guys also know, I don't have patience for BS. Y'all all know that. I don't want my spouse, I don't want to interrupt his safe haven or his space because he feels like, well, damn, Vonda asked me this, but if I tell her what I really think, she's going to be mad. I don't feel like hearing her mouth tonight. So I don't think it's possible. That's my take. Kiara?
Oh, well, when I think of a best friend, I think of like my long-term friendships. I typically don't think of romantic partners as best friends, because I can't count how many times I thought a partner was a best friend and then they ended up leaving. Or, I think it's really easy for people to throw out, oh, this person is my best friend, because you're in love with them and you think that's what you're supposed to say to each other. But at the end of the day, with my best friends, that intimacy piece is taken out of it. You sleep with your partner, you sleep with your significant other and your husband or whoever, your girlfriend, I don't know, wife. But my best friends, I know that they're there with me through the long haul without the intimacy piece. At the end of the day, I don't have to sleep with my best friend to feel a connection, or live with my best friend to feel a connection. 20 plus years, you know, like a best friend has that longevity. They've been there. I don't know if that's making any sense, but I will never, well, let's not say never. Let me watch my words because I'm not going to overgeneralize. But I don't foresee myself right now identifying my romantic partner now, in the future, whenever, as my best friend. I think there are certain pieces of me that, like, I'm still allowed to experience with other people. Like, I just think that there are different types of relationships, and my partner is going to be my partner, but I don't necessarily have to identify them as my best friend. And what worries me is like the thin line between, you know, this is my partner, we enjoy each other, we spend time, we laugh, we may agree to disagree, all of that. But like, at what point does it become codependency and enmeshment? Can I still have my former hobbies without, you know, having them to tag along or whatever? If they want to come, cool, but can I still do my own thing, or have my own separate interests, or have my own separate friendships, or have my freaking alone time, like something? Can I still have a relationship without losing myself or who I was before that? Like, I just think sometimes relationships end up bordering into codependence and enmeshment, and we lose a piece of ourselves. And I think given that best friend title, ooh, that just holds weight for me. Everybody's different. We can agree to disagree on that, but my best friends, I mean, they really put in work for that title. That's not something that you just give up to somebody that you met like
amen
a couple of years ago. But I'm just saying, but that's me. I'm not gonna get on my rant because you know how I can be, because I'm in my head and it's swirling. But my best friends earned that. They worked for that.
But
they were there. Like, and again, it comes for me, I don't know why it comes down to sex and intimacy, but it can be so easy to hand that shit out like hotcakes when you fucking somebody. But that's just me. But that title. But my best friends, they don't need that from me. They're like truly like me. So I don't know.
So if you're going to be in a long-term relationship with somebody, then they really should be liking you for a person, and not just because you're giving them ass, because in the long term, that shit's going to shrivel up. Okay. It's going to be old people, two old raisins, and if it all it was, you know, sleeping with one another, then where's your relationship at that point? Okay. We're looking at a semantics kind of thing.
Wait, I think we are. Like, how we operationalize it and define it may be different. Like I said, I respect everybody's like opinion on that. But now that I'm thinking about my elders and people who have been married for decades, okay, 50 plus years. I've never once heard them in conversation been like, that's my best friend.
Same.
So my parents have been married for 40 years, almost 40 years. My stepdad and my mom have been married for almost 40 years. And they are best friends. Okay. They
have you heard them say it?
Like,
have you heard them identify each other as that?
Who walks? Okay. So first of all, they generally only hang out with each other. So how are you going to differentiate the other non-friends that you aren't hanging out with versus the one person that you are hanging out with? Second of all, to say, hey, you're my best friend versus how you react are two different things. Words and actions are two different things. Okay. So how you treat one another, to me, is more of a best friendy kind of thing. Like, for instance, If my mom needs somebody, the first person she's going to call is my stepdad. Okay, it's not because they're banging. They're like in their 70s at this point. Okay, they might still be getting it on, but I don't know. Okay, I'm not finna ask about that either. Okay, they consult with one another. They enjoy spending time together. They can do things alone and have their hobbies. My stepdad goes out and he he plays his VR in the living room and things like that. My mom's doing her things. My mom does her volunteering at the church and all that stuff. Like they can have their things. They can also have their things together. But the fact of the matter is that it works in my opinion because they have the friendship, not in spite of the friendship. You know what I mean? Like I think that that's one of the things. So I can't say that I've had a successful relationship because I'm dating right now. You know what I mean? I'm not like, entrenched in a long-term relation. I mean, like I hope that what I'm in is a long-term relationship. But what I'm saying is that I have no, I'm not married or anything like that. But I will say that I wasn't best friends with the previous people that I dated. I kept a lot of things separate, and that that boundary, that veil that I put up in between myself and them because I wanted to do me and just me creates a veil. Like I said, like it's a clear separation. If you're not going to commit, then don't commit. You know what I mean? And to me, being a best friend is part of that. Like your significant other, in my opinion, has to be the best friend that you have beside your parents and your kid. You know what I mean? In a way, I don't mean like your kids, your friends, but what I'm saying is it's like that lifelong relationship has to be more than just, sex and intimacy in order for it to last.
I want to say something because I think you don't have, just because you're having sex with someone and being intimate with someone doesn't mean you have to be just one and you lose your personality. You can be independent and be in a relationship where you're friends with your husband. And I mean, you could be best friends. I mean, I just telling you from my experience, it's better to work as a team instead of like you're always in competition with each other, where you're always, oh, but you did this or but you did that. If you are completers of each other, you're not going to feel like you have to be by his side or her side every minute of the day. You don't have to. You know, okay, that person's got me, but I can still go do what I need to do. So that's my thing. You don't have to necessarily do everything together in order to be best friends. You could just have a mutual understanding in certain areas and say, okay, this is what it is. You have different friends in different areas. I have, Vonda and my sisters I could talk to about my cramps and stuff like that. If my husband doesn't want to see it, that doesn't mean he's not my best friend. It just means that's not something I talk to him about. But lately, as we gotten older with health issues, things happen. He's been hearing about my health problems, and I've been hearing about his health problems. So, and as you get older, you become more like the same person. It's weird because when you were saying that your parents do everything together, that's how we're becoming, because we're becoming the same person. It's the weirdest thing, but it's just because, but he never made me not do what I want to do. He supported me in whatever I wanted to do. And I support him, even when it looks stupid to everybody else.
It's because he's your best friend. He's the friend that is the best one. And so you guys like spending time together so much that he's the one that you choose to spend the most time with. You know what I mean? And that to me is an important part of being a best friend, the friend that you think is the best for your personality and your lifestyle and who you want to be with. And if your significant other isn't that person, then that's the decision that you make. but it's nice if your significant other is a person that you prefer to spend your time with and you know, and enjoy, because that means that it's deeper than just, you know, let's go hit the set. Let's go Netflix and chill. Let's
Kiara,
shoot a
did you want to say
cartoon.
anything to that before we wrap up?
Not really. I just didn't want it to be like, oh, we're talking about sex, and that's the only thing that matters when it comes to relationships and best friends and things. But I don't know. I guess I was separating the two, like, and two, I'm not there yet. I'm gonna put it point blank. I ain't there.
I got you.
Like,
and I'm not there either, but different strokes for different folks.
But
I mean, we're not
way.
robots. So for some people that works. For me, that's not working.
And I love the fact that other people can be in that space, because it makes it seem more realistic instead of like fantasy. I don't know. Yeah.
So this was a good topic.
We got 2 and 2.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, 2 and 2. I can't wait to see what we talk about next.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So, and I will let everybody know. So I'm working on a new site for merchandise, so we won't be shouting that out in this one. I don't want Sean to think that Lydia and I forgot. But let's go ahead and do a round table. So Kiara, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram for my artwork at k.ksoleilartwork, or for more mental health, you can find me at sotherapistaf.
Sean?
Okay. I'm Indigenous Patriot, or Sean the Indigenous Patriot. I haven't updated my YouTube in a while, but that's coming soon. I wanted to get out of the partisanship. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Indigenous Patriot. Just look me up. I'm very interactive. Just, you know, I respect people.
He does.
Like the same.
He does. Lydia?
You can find me at just Lydia111 on all things, all social media things, and that's it.
Lydia, you didn't say you weren't on TikTok. That's why I'm laughing. I was like,
I don't
She's
do
not
that,
on TikTok.
Got
One
in my house. What you talking about?
One day we're gonna see Lydia dancing to a TikTok video.
Nah, I'll be dancing, but not to TikTok.
doing the robot. It's hilarious. And I am Vonda. You can find me on all social media outlets at either Oh Just Talk or Ovonda. You guys remember, the comeback is always greater than the step back. Stay safe, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.